Right.
That's all that is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
my
I think it's
my science teacher got murdered by pirates. That's a real true story.
That took a turn I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
this conversation to go to.
No, like I'm making the point that real life pirates are unforgiving. I'm sorry. You're gonna get grieved by a real life fucking pirate.
This has been a public service announcement.
Welcome to the Emergent Gamer Podcast. This is your host, Lock and Key, back for one episode again, 158. I haven't been here in a long time, and I am very, very excited to be back with, who do I have in the top right-hand corner of my screen?
I don't know.
I don't know who's on
Mr.
your
Felix
screen.
Hergood.
Is it Felix Hergood?
It is, yes, it is Mr. Felix
This is
Hergood.
Felix Hergood, twitch.tv/Felix Hergood, mixer.com/Felix Hergood.
And a Brady Bunch tile below is Mr. Green Screen. Hello, Mr. Green Screen. Who are you?
Hello, this is Trip Zero. I am Trip Zero TV on all of the socials. How's everybody doing? Good to have you back, Locke.
Thank you. And directly under me, there's only one person that it could be. Who is it?
It must be me, Neo Aoshi, at Neo_Aoshi on Twitter and Neo Aoshi on Twitch.
Awesome. What's
Yeah.
up, guys? You can find me on Twitter at lock_key, and you can find me at mixer.com/lockandkey, all spelt out. Tonight we're doing an episode remotely, so we're actually all at our homes due to some scheduling, and the 5th or 6th nor'easter has hit
Jesus Christ, dude.
has hit us, so it's made things pretty difficult scheduling wise. But
I love
we're
snow,
recording.
but I'm done. I'm done with it.
God is angry
Thursday's
at
break.
Donald Trump.
Don't do that. Don't start
Don't you speak his name here?
Don't start this. This isn't good. So just as a heads up, we are all recording from home. So if you do notice some audio differences between last week's episode and this week, that's just as a heads up. But we're going to continue working on some things remotely to potentially bring some guests in and bring up some fans into our shows in the future. So this is one of several attempts that we'll be making to do some remote episodes. But we're going to be bringing you some news. We're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to be talking about PUBG Mobile. Of course there is. We're going to be talking about Ubisoft avoiding a Vivendi takeover, which is very interesting. And then we're going to be talking about something very surprising to all gamers, which is toxic management with Telltale Games. We'll all catch up on what we've been up to. I mean, I haven't talked to you guys on an episode in like 3 weeks. So it'll be good to catch up with you guys. What's up, Felix?
Somebody has their Discord notifications still turned on.
It might be you because I don't hear anything.
Definitely.
I
not
don't
me.
hear it. I don't hear anything either. So I'm not sure why you're hearing it.
I don't know. Isn't that weird? Like, I have no notifications on my system turned on, but for some reason, I still
I
keep
didn't hear
hearing
anything, so
something.
it has to be.
You're
I-
also
I've
the
been
one
hearing
that doesn't turn their phone on airplane mode a lot. So
It's not my phone.
maybe-
I don't know.
No, no
All right.
matter
I
the,
guess
I
it's
wouldn't
fucking
worry
me,
about
but
it.
I have no idea how to turn it off.
I mean,
no
I
matter the
think
distance between us. The same issues.
I mean, if you right click on your servers, you can hit server mute, and you won't get any notifications from it. So why don't you go through and server mute everything just in case,
It's-
Felix?
It's even easier if you just click on your own portrait at the bottom left and hit Do Not Disturb.
Look at that.
That's a cool feature.
Done. Do not
Yeah,
disturb.
we're
Neo
in
Aoshi,
Discord.
moderator of the Emergent Gamer Discord.
Do not disturb.
If you guys didn't know it's a thing, hop in because it's a good time. I'm learning Discord because of our Discord. Again, thanks to Neo for setting all that
You're
up.
welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
and
Pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
The coolest thing about having us being able to figure this out is ultimately, if you're already a member of the Discord, that'll give you an opportunity to one day be a guest on the show, right?
Yeah, which
True.
would be sweet. Be dope.
Yeah.
Be real good. So do you guys want to catch up with one another, see what we've been up to? You want to kick it off that way?
Sure.
I mean, I guess I'll start.
Rip it.
I mean, what have I done differently? I mean, I've been really playing the same games for the most part, but the one big thing that I wanted to talk about, which you guys are very well aware of, but I haven't talked about it on the podcast is me choosing to stream on Mixer with the Hype Zone.
That's been working out well for you, right?
Yeah, it's been been real good.
Can you explain the Hype Zone to anyone who might not know what that is, Locke?
Yeah. So if you've tuned in and watched Felix stream, you know that Felix streams to both twitch.tv and mixer.com. Mixer is Microsoft's platform that is up against Twitch, right? So the reason why I've chosen to stream to Mixer is because the game that is essentially eating my soul that I play all the time is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. And they have a really cool feature for both Fortnite and PlayerUnknown, which you join the Hype Zone channel. There's a Hype Zone for PlayerUnknown and there's a Hype Zone for Fortnite. You join that channel and it moves you from stream to stream to stream with whoever is the closest to a chicken dinner or whoever is closest to a victory in Fortnite. So what that allows for someone to do as a smaller content creator, you can go to someone that has not had any viewers, who doesn't have anyone watching them, can suddenly be rated essentially by 200 people are now all watching you play, which is really cool. Yeah, Trip, what's up?
I just wanted to ask a question about the Hype Zone. It's each game has its own Hype Zone, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't bounce back and forth, but it's so if you're a fan of Fortnite, you could just be in the Fortnite Hype Zone.
Gotcha.
You have to be A, in Mixer, and B, in the same PUBG match. Is that the way that works?
Say that again.
You have to be in the same PUBG match. So let's
As
pretend you and I are in Mixer and on different teams, and I kill you. Does the Hype Zone move over to me because it knows I'm in?
No.
It goes to just gives you a
random person. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not following matches. It's just following a streamer. So 2 nights ago, I got a Hype Zone today, and one of my
we got one yesterday when we played.
Got one yesterday. Yeah. So I think in the past 24 hours, I've netted about 38 followers on Mixer.
Nice, dude.
So I just today hit 100 follows.
Damn.
So that's been 3 weeks or so, I guess, that I've been streaming from it, and not even that regularly. I mean, I normally net about 10 follows per Hype Zone. Obviously, if I'm playing even better, then maybe more people will follow.
It's an awesome feature for growth, for sure.
So Hype Zone is exclusively a PUBG thing.
PUBG and Fortnite.
Oh, and
PUBG
Fortnite.
and Fortnite.
Got it. Cool.
Because it plays to the battle royale aspect. Like most people don't want to watch you for the first 50% of the match just loot, right? They want to see you in
final 10 minutes. Yeah.
They want to see the most engaging part of the game. Unless they're here for you, right? Like if someone sees you and is staying for your persona and your personality, then of course they'll want to watch you the entire match. But a lot of people really are only concerned about watching the last few minutes of the game where things get the most exciting. So it gives you as a viewer the chance to see fresh new content every 5 to 10 minutes, meet new people, and always get to see the most exciting part of the gameplay. But the other cool thing about Mixer, and the reason why I really like it, is they're also made an effort to, on their splash page, on their homepage, they're not just showing partnered streamers or those with the most viewers. They're showing like a 0 viewer person, and they're spotlighting people throughout Mixer to gain exposure. So they really are focusing on the small content creators.
Yeah,
honestly, it's fair because you just get whoever is close to the win. So you could be 0 followers, like you're saying, and be featured in that zone because you're going to win. So it's a very fair way to do it, which is super cool.
Well, you remember I had I don't know, I guess it was like the week after I joined Mixer, I had 82 people follow me in one stream. And that was all from, I was just playing Fallout 4, and they put me on the splash page for the whole of Mixer. I was like number 6 ranked because I had like 80 people watching me at once. It was amazing.
Damn.
So.
Yeah. So and like randomly, like there's something, and I don't understand it fully yet, but there's pro viewers. I don't know if pro viewers are their partnered viewers or
no, that's like Twitch Pro. There's Mixer Pro. I'm a Mixer. I'm a Mixer Pro.
But what's weird and what I don't understand, and maybe I'm just being rated, I don't know. There were a few times where like outside of Hype Zone, like 30 people would join, but they were always with a pro viewer. It would be like a pro viewer and a bunch of people. So I don't know if that was like a raid. I don't know. But it didn't notify me that I was being hosted or rated or anything. So I'm not quite sure. But regardless, the other features of Mixer, like the low latency, the instant ability to chat with someone like as they're typing is also pretty great without the delay like Twitch has. But yeah, it's been pretty great. And they actually responded to one of my tweets. I tweeted at Mixer, letting them know that like I appreciate their focus on the small content creators, and they responded and engaged with me on Twitter, which was pretty cool as well. So
yeah, at Watch Mixer is their
which I tweet them. I tweet them essentially every time I'm going live.
It's funny. It's such a new platform, and it's like ripe for people to like hop on it.
Oh
and, yeah. And like E3 this year, Microsoft's booth is essentially a Mixer booth. So when we see E3 footage this year, you're going to see a lot of Mixer being featured.
I mean, it's ripe for growth, and there's so much potential if Microsoft plays it right, because it's built into everything that they own and everything that they do.
Exactly.
You can hop right into, I almost called it Beam. That's what it used to be called. You can hop right into Mixer from your Xbox, obviously from your Windows 10 device. Games have built-in support. You can sit there on your console and browse through without having to do anything additional. You have to authenticate with Twitch or anything. Like it's so seamless. And if they could just build it into all their content the right way, it could be a massive platform. I mean, they already have like the zero latency feature, which is huge to connect with community while you're playing. They're doing certain things right.
Yeah. The best part. Oh, go ahead, Locke.
I was going to just say, I think the important part that you mentioned, which is huge, is the integration into the Xbox One. Like most people, I don't think want to sit in front of a computer and watch games. Like I think majority of people like have their Xbox One hooked up to their living room TV, and it's part of couch home entertainment. Right. Exactly.
Relaxation area. Yeah.
So they open up the Mixer app and they find people to watch, and they watch them from there versus like their computer, like you may do with Twitch. So I think, they have a lot of work to do, and it remains to be seen if it will take off like Twitch has, because of course they're significantly behind in the streaming game. But it also gives an opportunity for someone that doesn't have a setup. Like majority of people streaming on Mixer are not those that have a high-end PC setup that are playing PC games. These are people that are streaming directly from their Xboxes.
They're taking advantage of that.
Right. They don't have webcams. They're using their Xbox Live microphone. Like they're just hitting the button and like, screw it, let's see what happens. So it's getting more and more people out into the content creation, which is great, because more content that's coming out means more room for innovation and more room for growth. So
absolutely,
I hope, I think it's a smart move. We talked a lot about Microsoft at E3 this year. What are they going to do? And I think if they highlight Mixer and they make it more about that platform and less about their content, like their first party content, I think it's a smart bet on their part. What were you going to say, Felix?
I was just going to say the amount of times that I was streaming. So when I stream to restream, it does Twitch and Mixer at the same time. And I can pretty much be because I'm coming from a PC that I built, I can pretty much come and play any game, right? I could have my Switch games playing. I could have my PlayStation 4 playing. And the interesting thing that I've seen is, I'll be playing a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and somebody will see it on their Xbox Mixer dashboard and be like, what the hell? Like, how, I've had people come in and ask me, like, what is this game? I've never even seen it before, because they've played Xbox exclusively their entire life and haven't really paid attention to what PS4 titles are out there. Yeah. So I've introduced people to, and they followed me just because I've introduced them to PS4 exclusives. And they never would have had that opportunity because they don't have that console. So
it's a good angle.
Yeah, it's the amount of people who also have come in and have been completely confused with how I'm playing like Switch games on their Xbox is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. So make sure to drop me a follow there. Anyone that's tuning in, if you want to see some PUBG. You may even hear Neo Aoshi every once in a while playing some PUBG.
Yeah, we did this awesome thing where we had the multi-stream site up where you could see both of our screens at the same time.
Yeah, that was real dope.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, the
How'd
multi-stream.
you guys do that?
It's a
Is it
website called multistream.me, and it lets you pop in multiple streamers' names over Mixer, Twitter, Twitch, and I think YouTube.
It loads up all the windows on like the same webpage
and chat
and their chats.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. So it works. I think it'll start to get muddled if you do like more than two, but you could.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it would. The web page would adjust accordingly, but
I mean,
the two was nice, like 50% each side.
Sure,
one was a mixer
totally.
stream, one was a Twitch stream, which was pretty cool.
I was chatting at both of you guys last night at the same time.
You were.
So
I saw you talking in both chats.
I didn't know it was that easy to do. Like I've watched the multi streams that like Cathalion and Broman do. I've done the Division. They use Sea of Thieves, but I thought it was through their website. Like they have like their brand company website. And I thought they set this up specifically to make it work for them because they have the resources and someone could code it and figure it out for them. I didn't know it was that easy. That is a game changer, honestly, for group games.
Oh yeah, especially for a game like potentially Sea of Thieves or something like that. It can be a lot better to do it in a multi-stream setting instead of just one. Yeah, but that's. I mean, I wish I had. There's nothing else. I'm still playing PUBG.
Yeah.
Still snorting the crack cocaine. So I shall be for.
We got 2 chicken dinners together last night.
What's that?
Hits that main line.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 dinners last night, man. Back-to-back dinners.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
it was pretty great.
Crazy. They're becoming more and more frequent as I play it more and more. So
that is a sign.
Evolving.
Mr. Neo Aoshi, what have you been up to?
I mean, pretty much the same thing as you. Just playing a whole lot of PUBG. This past week, I said I was going to play Ratchet and Clank, but I actually had a huge internet issue over the weekend. Modem. When I rebooted my modem, and now it doesn't retain settings after every time you reboot. So I actually need to replace my modem. We're even very lucky that it's working right now.
Damn.
I should have told you that before.
So what you're saying is this could go out at any moment.
Oh, it's fine. I'm on a bad.
The stakes just got real high.
Everybody's got higher. But other than that, I just got a new Switch game called Human Fall Flat. I was playing it before going live here. Have you guys ever seen this game?
No.
It's so weird, man. It's you play as these like Play-Doh putty people, and it's a physics-based platformer, and all you can control is their hands. And once you hit the triggers for their hands, they grab on things, and you pretty much just grab on things and do funny things, and it's all ragdoll physics. It's a really strange game.
It sounds really
it's also it's in Steam.
It's in Steam. It is in
Steam.
Steam.
Is it a Steam game too? Okay.
But it's on. I have this problem that you may not know of.
What problem is that?
No.
I hang out in the sale section of the Switch store like every week. I just check it and I see what's going on. So
do you have money for food?
Well, that's what's
worried about
happening.
at this point.
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, don't worry, I'm fine. I got plenty of ramen. It's okay. I just switch to ramen. It works out.
You gotta live.
Noodles are noodles.
Noodles are noodles. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. And playing PUBG. That's the only game I've pretty much just turn on and go, and it's just that easy. And it's having a lot of fun doing hot drops. I actually
love me some hot drops, bro.
You die more frequently, but I just want to get better at shooting.
Yeah.
Are hot drops areas that have a lot of activity in the beginning of the game?
They're they're very high,
like tilted towers in Fortnite. That's a hot drop.
Exactly.
Yes, just like that. Like that. There's always a high concentration of items that spawn there. So everyone just goes for it.
I can't deal with like land, like because there's places on the map that are just like small, tiny, like 4-house compounds.
Yeah.
And for like a duo game or a singles game, like you can probably leave that compound decently looted enough to where like you're not running around with like a crossbow. But in squads or things like that, you have to land in more populated areas. And also like the only way you get better at the game is by shooting people, and you don't get better by playing 15 minutes of running simulator.
Running around.
And,
this is something
10 minutes of
Yeah, I
But,
came to this conclusion like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I'm not getting any better if I just keep hiding in the trees all the
seriously.
time. I need to
Seriously.
engage people. Yeah.
You got to force the engagements. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as long as you can not like get frustrated with landing and then getting an
Dying
unfortunate
instantly.
dying, but like the benefit of it is you just exit to lobby and you start it up again. And
Super critical about what you could have done in that moment
Totally
and just kind
okay
of keep
with
working at it. Yeah.
The one thing that I forgot to mention when I was chatting is I did get to play Jesus. What is the Mario game? Odyssey?
Odyssey.
Jesus, I couldn't think of the name of it.
I was like, what's Jesus? I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, did you
good
buy
thing.
a Switch lock?
No. I don't get the money for that. But I know during the first, so this is going back like 3 weeks ago when I couldn't record. I didn't have power for over a week, and I was staying at my in-laws' house. My brother-in-law,
We got a
who's
major
gonna-
storm.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, who's going to be on next week's episode. He had a Nintendo Switch, and he wasn't at home. He was at his girlfriend, so I got to use his Nintendo Switch for like the 3 days that I was there. So I started a new save file and decided to play Mario instead of Zelda, because I figured Mario I would be able to like accomplish
Pick up
more in
and go.
Mario than
Yeah.
Zelda. It feels like a little bit more grindy.
That was
So
a
I
good call.
played Mario on his big 70-inch 4K TV on his
Whoa.
and I went and sat in the living room and played it, and it felt great. And in that moment, and I hate that I'm gonna have to say it.
Miyoyoshi is nodding his head
I'm gonna say it,
exuberantly.
but I'm gonna say it, but I'm like
exuberantly.
I'm gonna open up only Felix so I don't have to look at Neo's face when I say it.
Video mute.
No, it was awesome, and I think like I
Yeah, it
enjoyed
was.
playing the Mario game, and I feel like I would still enjoy playing it, but I really did love the portability was the biggest thing. You know, as someone who's soon going to be a father in the next month, my gaming. Yeah.
Have you said this on the podcast? I don't know if you have, dude.
I have. No, it's another thing.
I don't know. I could be
I
wrong.
don't know if he had. I mean, he might have, but
It might have been an episode that I wasn't on for. I don't remember it.
Anyway, yeah. So
I'm
I
sorry
mean,
if that was
no, please, you're
a
good.
mistake.
Player 3 will be entering the game soon. So
Wow, there it is.
nice.
but
Now,
as
Locke,
someone
what
who's-
did you think the game was running at 60 frames a second on a handheld tablet?
yeah, it
Looks
played really
pretty damn good.
Yeah, it played really well on the handheld. I was surprised. But I think the portability and like my gaming habits are going to have to change, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Sure.
It's going to change, and I'm going to have to play games that, you know, like I don't know how a multiplayer game will fit into my lifestyle in the near future.
Yeah, go
right?
back to the episode with Crazy Peanut.
Right.
You know,
So the
we had
idea
him
of the
talking about
Switch being able to
being a
pause
dad in
and
gaming.
save and all of that. Like I liked being able to sit on the couch, you know, in the living room, still being able to game, and not like mobile game, right? Not play like some shitty iOS game, but like play a AAA title.
That's
is
I mean, that's
big.
what the Switch did. It made that accessible and like
Right.
okay to play in your hand, because I mean, like everything on the DS or the Vita has always felt like half of a real
Right.
game.
Yes.
Even ports of real games
Didn't
feel
feel
like
quite
less.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything about it, like the design in general, the ability to use the Joy-Cons, the dropping into the stand and all of that, like all of it felt really great. And I was actually surprised. I mean, I probably gamed for like 2 hours or so on the couch, and it lost maybe like 25% battery life or something. So even the battery life was pretty great, which I was
Pretty good,
surprised
yeah.
about. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be something that I pick up in the future once I have the ability to. I don't know how much. Like, I still think I'd favored doing other things, but I like the ability to be able to have it if I wanted to use it, which is pretty cool. So I do understand why you love it so much, Neo. I do. I understand.
It's pretty great, man.
I
As
do.
someone who travels a lot during the day, and I'm not always, you know, ready in front of my computer. It's pretty great to have this handheld device I can take in anywhere and then plug it back into my TV when I get home, and it's a great experience all around.
Yeah.
So
Which is another good point. You know, lunch breaks at work and things like that. You know, that's
perfect.
another good point. Yeah. Enough about me though. Not Felix. Trip. What have you been up to?
I think the last episode I was on, I was mentioning that I was starting Metal Gear March,
Right.
this streaming event of playing every Metal Gear Solid, not every Metal Gear game in a row. Look at Neo's doing some weird body things and is spinning in his chair.
Just so
Um,
excited.
So excited.
Neo
and I wasn't-
talked about your Metal Gear March last episode.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I wasn't on last week's because I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, clinging to life, and not being
Holding
aware
on to the
100%.
Look, I've been spending a lot of time on your stream this month.
You have been.
I just want you to know that. It's pretty great watching you play Metal Gear.
Thanks.
I must say.
No, I appreciate everyone has been hanging out. No, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really well received, a lot of great interaction. And so I've done so far Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and I just started on Tuesday Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So we're moving along at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, you're doing really well. So what? How many more do you have? You have after 3. You have
after 3. I think we're gonna watch Portable Ops. Like we're gonna find like a YouTube movie of it.
Okay.
Because it's this. Actually, I have it.
I got you covered. I got you covered on that.
Well, I have it. I have it right here.
Oh, sweet.
I have a Universal Media Disc.
What the fuck is that?
Portable Ops. This is what you play games on the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. Sony had the balls to call this a Universal Media Disc. It's just a tiny
that shit ain't universal at all.
This is a proprietary media disc, the PMD. But that game, it was the first one that they released mobile, but it's still canon to the main series. So I feel like it's important to know what happens in it. Then there's arguments to the yes or no side of that. But I think it's important, but I don't want to play it because it
introduces a major character in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right. So like it's important to go through it.
Two characters actually. Sorry.
It plays weird, right? Like the PSP only had one joystick.
Right.
One joystick, just the regular triangle buttons. It was almost like a tactical based game where you had to create your squad and send them out to do other things. I did play maybe half of it, but I've never finished the game fully. But I think it's important to know what happens. So we're gonna watch, like the movie version just together on stream. And then after that, it'll be Metal Gear Solid 4, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which was another portable game.
Sons of Liberty.
Did I say Sons of the Patriots? Something.
You would know, Mr. Metal Gear.
Guns of the Patriots.
Guns of the Patriots.
Guns of the Patriots.
Guns of the Patriots. Look at the box here. Thank you for that, for keeping me honest, Felix. Are good. Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
What we have done without that knowledge.
I don't know. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
No, I was getting confused because the only one I played was Sons of Liberty. That's the only one I've ever played. So when you said it, I was like, wait, I thought 2 was.
I don't even know. Like we don't need the subtitles. I gotta throw the numbers out.
Who cares?
But Peace Walker is a remastered version of a Vita game. A PSP game. But they remade it so it's playable like a current game.
Gotcha.
And I have that as part of the collection that I'm playing all of these on. So it's easy and it's accessible. And then Peace Walker is another one that takes place further back in time, which leads right into Ground Zeroes and 5, which will be new to me. Both of those.
Yeah,
games.
5 will be exciting for you because you're going to be like fresh off all of everything that's happened.
I'll have my brain will be full of the lore, and I'll be so excited to catch every little reference or piece of lore they throw out. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna probably tune in heavily for 5 because 5 I have, but at this point I don't think I'm gonna go back and play. So
I think you're gonna love it a lot.
Oh, I mean, I played a little bit of it, but I also don't I have no appreciation for it because I never played I played one Metal Gear ages ago, you know? So I wouldn't have the same appreciation that you're absolutely going to have after playing all these games. But how's it going? How's the stream been? It's
been great. Like a lot of good community interaction from both our crew, and people rolling in there. A pretty big, mostly Metal Gear streamer. Her name is Kitty Roar. She's rated my stream twice while we've been broadcasting.
Nice.
And brought in really good amounts of people who've hung out and interacted and followed, and so that growth has been great. It's been really good. It's been people that are there are excited about that content. So it's always fun to talk about it and chat about it. People will remind me of things or teach me new cool secrets about the games because it's a Kojima game. So there's so much hidden inside this game. Little phone calls you could make that you would never know otherwise. Certain things you could shoot. even stuff like the physics and the worlds of Metal Gear Solid 2, like a PlayStation 2 game where you could like shoot a bag of flour on a tanker or shoot individual glass bottles that were stacked on a shelf, and all of those things are breakable, and or shoot flour into the air to obscure soldiers' vision. And this is stuff that no game was doing to this level in 2001. You know,
right.
like
one of the early tech demos was you would go to the bar in the tanker and you would shoot the ice barrel, and they would point out the ice cubes that are bunched closer together will melt slower than the individual cubes that you shot around.
Like that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of detail.
Why would we even care about that?
It's arguably not even needed. But that's how much he cared about the games.
Of course.
And that detail, you know, expands in other ways and really makes the games, all of them, are really complete experiences, and they play really well. So it's been great. Great
That's
community, awesome. Great fun. We've been trying to get in as much time as possible. I always do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 12, but any other times I can fit in, I've been tweeting out that I'm going to do it, and then we let her rip. Obviously,
Sure.
March is coming to a close. I'm not going to stop playing Metal Gear once March is over. We'll do Metal Gear April. Just until it's done.
Yeah, keep it going, baby.
It doesn't have as much alliteration, but yeah, we'll be doing it. We'll do it until we get to the end. So
nice,
plenty of fun to come.
Well, the other thing is that the games are getting like longer, right?
They're getting longer.
Go like so,
especially,
like 5 is going to take you for a while to complete, right? You'd expect. Or you like are you not worrying about like playing all of the side stuff in 5? You're just going to try to do the main story.
It's going to be the story, right? I might explore a little bit more on my own. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'll do some streams with it after the event, air quotes, is done. But from what I've heard, 5 might be a shorter overall experience because, like, especially now with Metal Gear Solid 3, and just I know what's coming with Metal Gear Solid 4. These games turn into movies legitimately. Like you're sitting there at some points for 30 minutes watching cutscenes play out, which is just the culmination of all.
4 is a very bad offender.
Yeah. Oh my dude, the ending of 4 I think is literally 2 hours. You're just sitting there watching.
Yeah, I'd be so upset.
It's at least an hour. So, well, I mean, we'll just kick back on the stream and just fucking chill and let it rip.
Now it's a group movie stream.
Right. But yeah, so 5 might be weirdly shorter overall.
Okay.
With its mission structure.
Right.
I don't know. It is a 40-hour game. I did spend a lot of time in that game. And the open world nature of it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll lead to a lot of just exploring that'll happen naturally. I won't be trying to speed run it by any means.
And if someone wanted to, just because they might have missed it in the beginning, if they want to tune in for some more Metal Gear, where are they going to find you at?
Yeah, it's twitch.tv/Trip0TV. All together, no words, no numbers, no spaces, all words, I should say. No numbers, no spaces, no underscores, no garbage. Trip0TV, and that's all of my socials too. It's very, very, very easy. Find me on the places and spaces, and you'll know what's going on.
I love it, Mr.
Felix Hergood.
Beard Gang.
You can intro yourself. What's going on, dude?
Just shout his name out there. It's like a Pokemon.
Let me see.
Can I just?
Yeah,
you go first. Then I want to say something about you.
I was gonna say. Speaking of the group movie experience, I bought my Avengers Infinity War tickets.
You were heated about that 2 weeks ago.
I was heated. I was heated about the fact that I would not be able to go at the time of my choosing. But that has nothing to do with the ability to go.
I know, like we've talked about this, like offline a little bit. Like I'm kind of upset that like I don't care anymore. You know, like
because this is the big show.
I know, but like this like I was excited for this like 10 years ago. You know, like
I would align with Locke on this if we're gonna get into this.
Like I kind of want to just a tiny bit, like just a tiny bit. Like I wish I could be mad. But
all right, well, listen,
don't care anymore.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, I'm with Felix, so we're about to start an Emergent Gamer civil war.
No,
I see what you did.
We're gonna have a civil war.
We're having a civil war.
But that you're missing
Team
the
Locke
point. Like,
Team
I
Felix.
truly don't care, so I wouldn't even argue against it.
Yeah, no.
It's just like
it's not a
like
big
I
deal.
want to see it, but like I'm just so burnt out.
There's a lot of fatigue with all of this.
I'm completely empathetic.
Constant trailer and side movies and group.
It was our very own. It was our very own Snacks the Cat that introduced me to that terminology. He said, "I have fatigue," and I can't empathize on the superhero thing. I can't because I'm just too excited about this. I'm like,
Do you,
whoa.
do you
Yeah,
bring
I'm
back
with
and
you.
watching like the cartoons? So you're not fatigued at all.
I'm
You want
currently
more.
watching the 92
You want
X-Men
all of it.
show. I'm
He's-
currently watching
Since
the
the
92
new year
X-Men show.
started,
You're a nut job
You first.
in the
Nero.
best way.
so since the new year has started, I have watched one Marvel movie a week, and I have been doing so up until the launch of Infinity War.
Are you repeating?
I
Are you
have-
just looping?
No, it's there are enough movies if you watch one a week up until May 4th. They changed the date, so I have to watch like 2 movies in a week. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think I'm on Guardians of the Galaxy 2 now. And I've been watching one a week to get ready for this new movie.
I'm going to do
and
one a day. Starting on
Thrilled.
April
Thrilled.
9th, I'm doing one a day.
Oh my
Damn.
dude!
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not
You
going
were
to do
literally like me with PUBG. Like you were
Yeah.
injecting this
You
into
can't.
your blood.
Yeah.
right into the fucking veins, man.
And I can't knock you for it.
Right,
'cause
but
if you love it,
here's
you love
what
it, you love it.
Here's how
everyone's got their poison, you know.
here's how I do empathize with you. I can empathize with you in terms of fatigue because I have and have had for a while horror movie fatigue. I grew up watching.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up.
Oh, because you grew up watching.
I grew up watching I read all the Stephen King, and I grew up watching a ton of like slasher horror films and like really, really fucked up horror films all throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. And I got fatigued at some point in the late 2000s, and that was it. I just kind of like gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand that, but shared universes are something that, especially if it's a shared universe that I care about, I am watching the big story. It is very, very easy to lose the big story if you aren't tuning into the parts.
And
I'm-
I think
I'm
that
in
was
the-
the problem.
Yeah.
Because like, and not that it makes perfect sense, and it's great that they've had this continuous arc throughout all of these movies. But as soon as you miss one, and like then you
Fucked.
miss
How
then
do
you miss
one.
an.
I don't understand.
Well, that's the point. Like you
He's
guys
like,
will make sure
miss,
that it's there.
miss one.
This one. How did that? Who does that?
Like the last.
No,
the last
I missed a
movie,
shit ton.
Yeah, the last movie that I went to see, last Marvel movie I went to see. I don't even fucking remember. The last one I remember, which isn't probably the most recent, but the last one I remember was Ant-Man.
Yeah, and movies are expensive,
Right?
So I mean,
No, excuse me. So it must have been Civil War. It must have been Civil War was the last one I went to go see.
Yeah.
But like, as soon as you miss that, like, I could probably go watch the next Avengers and still love it, right? But like, I'm someone that wants to know the overall arc, just like you enjoy it, Felix. I want to make sure that I know and catch every little thing. And as soon as you fall behind, it can become very overwhelming to try and catch up. Right. It's like trying to do exactly what you're doing for Metal Gear. Like if you played 5 and loved it and then wanted to know everything, you have to start all the way back here.
All the way. You got to do the whole
very
thing.
overwhelming to someone. So yes, as soon as you do the unspoken act of missing a Marvel movie in the theaters and then you miss another one, then it's like, well, here we go. Now I got to strap in for
Honestly,
10 hours, you know.
I think Metal Gear is way more of a commitment if you want to stick that whole story out than the Marvel universe.
Okay, well, I'm not arguing like which one's
I'm
more of a
just
commitment.
saying.
I'm just saying.
Actually, Locke, you'd have less of a time investment
Right.
with this one.
Let's talk, and you don't have to move your fingers on the joysticks. It's great.
There's a pretty good explanation that might get you hype again for it. It's about a 11-minute YouTube video by a guy by the name of Movies with Mikey. The Movies with Mikey does something where he talks about how to do a shared universe the right way, and he just praises the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the work they've put in. Like he's basically saying you should go to this movie because it's amazing that it even happened. The amount of coordination it took these people to produce 10 years worth of films. And he argued, and I agree with him, that the 2 best ones were the most recent. Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok. It's not like they're waning out and it's getting worse. They're honing
they're
their
getting
craft.
better at their craft.
Yeah. The movies
Sure.
are getting.
I mean, they've done this for
I know.
I sure hope so.
10 years. Right.
No, but you can have a product that starts to wane and get weaker because they're just getting lazy. But they're trying to make the next one. They're leaving it to the artist. They're handing the craftsmanship over to the artists, and it's fascinating what they're doing. So that's a pretty solid argument, but I'm not gonna hold it against anybody who doesn't who's not as passionate as I am about it. I am, and I have my tickets to prove it.
Very apparent. So outside of that, what have you been up to?
All I've been doing is continuing with my playthrough of both Assassin's Creed and Kingdom Come, because 2 or 3 shows back, you guys had said to me, why don't you focus in and just finish something? And I said, okay.
Yeah, we workshopped your stream for you.
Yeah, I said, okay,
live on the cast.
I'm going to do that, and that's been successful because people come back constantly to the stream. Now, I don't play like Assassin's Creed or Kingdom Come more than one day in a row. Like I'll do a Kingdom Come stream, then an Assassin's Creed.
You're alternating days or something.
But people are starting to figure out that I'm playing these 2 games and they like these games, so they come back frequently. And so it's been good for growing the stream. And a couple of times I made it to the top. Nobody's playing Kingdom Come, so I made it to the top and mixer on the Kingdom Come page like numerous times.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah,
so I screenshotted it for you.
So that's a huge perk, playing a game that nobody else is playing. And it has bugs and it has issues here every now and then, but they just came out with the 1.3 patch, which added the exit upon save or save upon exit. So you don't have to just use the save your schnapps to save. You can or a bed. You can just exit your game and it'll save it. So that patch came out, and they say that improved the lock picking, but
it's still hard.
It's still just a medieval simulator. Like lock picking is not easy. It's just not. So. But yeah, and the other day
I also turned into your Wildlands stream as well.
So I'm back playing Wildlands and I'm seeing similarities. So last episode, Neo and I talked about how Far Cry 5's biggest, we didn't talk about it on the show. I think we talked about it pre-show and it never made it into the show, but we talked about
I think you're right.
Yeah. We talked about Far Cry 5 and how this guy had played it ahead of time. And he said the game never stops and there's constantly things that are occurring. And that he was tired of Far Cry 5 after a short amount of time because it didn't seem like Montana. There was too much activity, too much random encounter shit, and
it never gave you downtime to just appreciate where you were.
Like the setting and to explore.
Yeah, it was constantly throwing events and different. Its systems were constantly working at you by throwing wildlife or enemies or people coming down the road. It always had something going on. There are no boring moments. There are no.
It didn't feel like rural Montana.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'll be the judge of it when I go in because I have points of comparison. I have Ghost Recon. I have Assassin's Creed, and just today when I was playing Ghost Recon, not on stream or anything, but just I was playing it before we started recording. That happens all the time in Ubisoft games. It happens in Assassin's Creed. It happens in Ghost Recon. There are constant activity points. Like I was in a fight with a Unidad chopper and a Santa Blanca chopper that were fighting each other. And I was on the ground and they were both shooting at me. They would shoot each other and then they would shoot me. And it was like, so there was like multiple factions fighting all at once. And like that kind of chaos happens all the time in Ubisoft games. And I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little different in those situations where it's in Assassin's Creed, for example, because I play a little bit of Origins. There are always moments where you're just kind of running around the city. No one's coming at you. Nothing's asking you to like stop and engage it like Far Cry does. Even in Assassin's Creed, you still have the ability to just kind of parkour around the city and enjoy yourself. Even I'm guessing in Ghost Recon, I haven't played it as much as you have, but there are moments where you're
times
just
to chill. Yeah,
you're just going through the map and you're doing your own thing before all the crazy things happen.
But hasn't Far Cry always operated that way? Like I played Far Cry. I've only played Far Cry 4 and I played it for maybe 20, 30 hours, but like there was always something happening. Like, I mean, there might have been a little bit of a distance from one outpost to the other, but there were wildlife in between those outposts. So
I think that's just a hallmark of the series at this point. They
maybe
throw things at you. Yeah.
Right. Maybe the criticism is like, it doesn't feel like Montana should feel, but it feels like a Far Cry game. Maybe.
Yeah. And I'll find out because that game comes out next Tuesday, I think. Right.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to give me your opinion because
I want to pop. Are you going to stream that?
I'm not going to stream it the day it comes out because I don't think I have an early. I think my shift is too early and I won't be streaming that day. But I'm going to probably stream it that Wednesday. So it comes out.
Cool.
Comes out on Tuesday. I'll stream it on Wednesday and definitely on Thursday. I'll do like 2 days in a row. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely pop in.
I'm gonna definitely pop in.
I'm very interested in the storyline. I just want to see how the game plays out before I invest in it.
Same, but
I will say,
very interested.
Yeah, I really and I watched the Amazon short for it.
Oh, I wanted to see that. I didn't watch that yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that.
It's a 30-minute live action like intro to the game. So they got actual actors. Amazon created it. You can catch it if you're a Prime member. It's called like Eden's Gate or something like that, and it kind of just really introduces you into the cult, which is really cool. I mean, it's not going to win like any Emmys, but like it's cool that it like they're trying to intro you into this world with the cult mentality, which is pretty cool. But I will say that watching you play Wildlands really makes me want to buy it for PC. Like real bad.
Lock.
I mean, watching you play PUBG.
Tell you.
Hold on. Watching you play PUBG seems a lot like Wildlands, except I'm not playing multiplayer. You know, I'm playing.
You're playing AI, right?
Which
would be a nice change of pace because sometimes I want that tactical shooter without having to worry about playing against other players. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah.
Me.
Sure.
So, Locke, I have something to tell you. It is currently on sale.
I know.
I'm on Steam right now.
I'm waiting.
Damn it! I'm looking. That was my.
It's $20, guys. It's It's $19. Yeah. I'm just saying that if we all
sure Windows.
We all
let's restart right now for updates.
We don't all need to, but if someone does buy it, I will purchase it. I just don't want to be the only one because I don't want to be the only one that owns it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I can make that kind of commitment. Just to be honest, totally right now.
I know you're in the middle of your Metal Gear March/April, and
I bought Sea of Thieves too, but I'd love to.
You bought Sea of Thieves.
Open. Yeah.
All right, Locke. I'm willing to take this trip with you.
Are you?
I'll take this trip 0 with you.
You ready to take this journey? Felix, really quickly though, before we get into some news points, because it's really just you telling me what I get with the base game, because the base game is what's $19.
Yeah,
like that's not like the gold edition or the season pass and all that other bullshit.
I didn't buy that.
And so I can get the base game and I will still get a great experience that's worth my money.
Oh sure, yeah, absolutely.
I just don't know with an Ubisoft game. Like
I personally
Rainbow Six Siege exists and there's like 13 different levels of buying the game. That's
no. There's one little $15 so far released. I mean, there's a season pass, but who gives a fuck? But there is one $15 DLC pack that I just bought called Fallen Ghost that comes with an assortment of guns and assortment of like skins and things like that. But it also comes with like extra story missions and things like that I'm going to play. But the baseline game is incredibly in depth. Like it's got so much going with it. Now there's one thing that I'm going to recommend that you buy on top of everything, and it'll cost you probably about 10 extra bucks. And it's the one of the vehicle packs for either Santa Blanca or for the Unidad. You can pick which one. But I recommend that because if you're going to play it on extreme, you're going to want a helicopter with rockets. It's just so worth it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I paid, like I said, no more than like $8 to $10 extra for that. On top of my base price. So,
yeah, I mean, the game's, I mean, it's almost 70% off right now in Steam. So, I mean, the base game, which is live for the next 4 days, is $19.79.
Keep in mind, you can get helicopters in the game with rockets, but calling them and having them like auto spawn next to where you are is so much cooler.
Right.
You know, like having to go and find it on the map is a pain in the dick.
Well, Neo and I can, if Neo's down, we can hash out what we're going to do. But I feel like after watching many of your streams, I've been super interested in it. And I know Neo mentioned earlier that he was going to buy it, but then didn't because no one else was getting it. So
I'm telling you, it doesn't feel much different than
again, as it always does.
It doesn't feel much different than in terms of like how it feels to play it. It doesn't feel much different than the Division. I mean, obviously there's interface differences and mechanical differences and things like that. But like in terms of shooting,
honestly, when I look at the game, I see Metal Gear Solid 5, like a multiplayer version of that. Is what I see. I wouldn't compare it to PUBG as much because of the style of how PUBG feels. It just the bullet mechanics are just too deep. But like Metal Gear Solid 5, it's a good action third person game, and you just throw 3 other people into that. I like that's like a better comparison.
I mean, this game has bullet drop.
PvE style of it.
This game has bullet drop. I mean, it's probably not on the extreme level that PUBG has, but
yeah, I think what he finds similarly is like the tactical aspect, the ability, like that type of stuff. It's not necessarily all of the mechanics. But yeah, I'm glad you've been streaming it because it's been fun to watch you play that and see it because it looks good.
Well, Far Cry 5 is coming next week. So anyone who hasn't followed me, switch.tv/Felix Hergood or mixer.com/Felix Hergood. But
I'll be watching for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's hit a few. Let's hit a few of these news points. I don't know what we're at ETA wise, but I think we probably got like 20-ish minutes to do some news points.
Sounds about right.
The one thing that's not on here that I wanted to ask you, has anybody read anything that they'd like to? I know I read some stuff about Sea of Thieves, so I was curious if anyone else has seen anything on Sea of Thieves and has wanted to.
I've read a few reviews on it. As far as if I want to break it down at like a really base level, it's like it's not getting like a backlash or anything. I'm going to put that out there right now. But everything you saw in those test servers was pretty much the game. Sans a few things here and there.
You don't have the vendors there telling you what to get, but it's essentially like though that's where you go. That's what you get, and that's what you bring back. It puts off a little bit of like No Man's Sky vibes. Not the lies that they told, but not that sense. They pretty much said, "Hey, this is a pirate simulator with your friends. Go at it," and PvP happened. But yeah, the comparisons I've seen have been like, that I've seen have been like No Man's Sky, vast as an ocean but deep as a puddle type things, and that it's like the Division's Dark Zone all the time because other ships just approach you and you can start fighting and people troll each other. So
yeah, I think people are judging it a little unfairly. I want to say and I think what you mentioned is the really important part, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it is like they never promised us anything. No. Right? So like it's a really big point that they didn't promise us like this massive MMO that is going to like eat your soul like Destiny did. Like they said, hey, we're going to make this pirate game. You're going to crew a ship and it's going to be awesome when you're playing with friends. I think us as a gaming community have seen what a singular game can become as a game for a service and saw this and we're like, oh, clearly if we're going to be able to sail the ocean, it's going to be this like massive game that's never going to end. And then people pour all of this time into it and they're like, game's over? What do you mean the game's over? So like I think it's being judged a little unfairly, but I did like the
I think people will realize there's like just no point to it,
Well, that could be said about any game. I mean, realistically,
sure.
Like your time is with your like. I appreciate the criticism of like a single player. Like people don't like playing solo because, like to your point, people are just running around killing single players. Versus like when you're playing with a whole crew, it's the same way. Like why raiding on Destiny is a lot more fun than doing solo missions because the art of multiplayer is what drives like a lot of people's fun time in gaming.
Very true.
But I liked the president's response, I think it was, or the head of the development team, which was like, we are going to continue to roll out content for this game. What we planned on producing was a stable game that came out that had content for you to play, and we will roll out features as it comes, which is
like
cool.
A platform, essentially. It's a pirate platform.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. What were you going to say, Trip?
You're playing this game because you want to have that pirate experience. Like the stories you're going to tell people about Sea of Thieves is not like, oh, I finished that quest too. Yeah, the one we all did where you had to get a chicken and bring it back to sell. Yeah, that was great. No one's having that memory. You're talking about when you snuck up on a ship and you turned your lights out so they didn't see you. Your friend shot you out of a cannon. You brought a bucket of water with you, started dumping it in there in the bottom of the boat so you can start sinking it. You take the crew down. Your friends come up and help you. You steal their shit. Like the stories of being a pirate and how you and your crew did it. That's going to be the real fun. Which
and that's
again,
why I would not give it that much crap.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
I would never
I think,
give it that same amount.
I think for a release
hate.
and for what it is, for what they've said and for what they've put out, you get it and you get that fun. Again, it's kind of sad that you can't be a solo player because you just can't have those experiences. You're not going to be able to stand up against a crew of 4.
Does the game have like land-based developed cities, or is that not?
There are outposts where you can sell things that you collect. Like you got, if you don't sell your treasure and someone takes it, you get nothing. So you got to like find your rewards for whatever kind of quest you do and return that to an outpost to actually get the reputation and the gold. And there are caves. There are enemies that pop up. There are like NPC enemies. Like you can fight, like skeleton things and stuff like that. Sharks around the water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's not cities, Felix. There's smaller versions of Nassau from Black Sail. Like not as well developed pirate cities, but like outpost islands where you can go and talk to NPCs.
But that's about it. You're not. There's no like battling outposts or fighting on land or any of that stuff.
Well, there's fighting on land. Yeah,
if you run into someone
and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone could try to take your shit as you're digging it up, and
that's where like the single player like griefing is coming from. Like I'm a solo player. You run up on my island that I'm looting right now, and you're a 4-man crew, and you just come and you just don't.
You know what though? I have a little bit of an issue with that word because it's being thrown around a lot online.
Of course it is.
What word?
Griefing.
Oh, grief.
Especially with Sea of Thieves. I don't think it's applicable. You can't grief when you sign up to play a fully online pirate game and you want to be a pirate, and you make a choice to go into this world solo.
You're just behaving like a pirate.
Right.
That's all that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
I think
it's
My science teacher got murdered by pirates. That's a real true story.
That took a turn I wasn't expecting this conversation to go to.
No, like I'm making the point that real life pirates are unforgiving. I'm sorry. You're going to get grieved by a real life fucking pirate.
This has been a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Pirates suck, dude. Just
in case you run across a pirate.
It happened in Costa Rica. I'm not even kidding.
Just want to tie it up with a bow right there.
Yeah,
Pirates
I mean,
suck.
I think what's being muddled is like the what's happening in the game versus like that person clearly has no friends to play with. So I think it's like their own. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You're right. I don't disagree with
you. I mean,
I think
if it's just one player repeatedly going after another player and just they spend their entire existence in any game focusing on that player to give them a terrible time, that's griefing. When all the game systems exist to take shit from other people or to fix your boat when other people try to take your shit. That's what it is.
You never forget the first time you got grieved by somebody. Red Dead Online right here. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they just kept killing me over and over again with sniper shots. Oh god. It was worse.
I'm sure you're super calm about the whole situation too.
You would like spawn near each other too. It was so bad. Anyway, go.
I was looking into I'll probably pick it up closer to May when State of Decay comes out, because I'll probably just sign up for a month of Game Pass and get State of Decay 2
explore
and
all the stuff
and kind of just play them both for a month. That way I feel like I'm getting some bang for my buck.
I was going to say the hardest thing about Sea of Thieves right now is probably the price to entry. I feel like the price that you're paying and what you get aren't proportionate yet, unless you have friends you want to play with. I feel like that's like the key factor here. If you have a group that you're going to play with,
right?
But
hint, Diamond Jam. Let's jam some pirate action.
I know he definitely. We messaged a few. He was very excited to get into this.
I tried to hop in with Kevin Oates and another one of our friends. I don't know what his tag is. I don't want to call out his real name just in case. But we were trying to hop in. And we couldn't get Kevin Oates' mic to work, and then we were just like, "Well, we'll do this later." We had some other things to do, but
sorry,
we almost got in. No, yeah. So we got.
You have it on PC? You didn't buy an Xbox version, did you?
So great question. I was going to hold off because I wasn't sure
crossplay,
which
right?
platform that I was going to get. It is officially cross-platform. You can buy it on
I-
one and
doesn't
have it
matter.
on the
Yeah,
other.
it doesn't-
I guess I need to tailor my question more specifically. Were you playing it on Xbox or were you playing it on your PC?
It was Xbox so
Gotcha.
far. Yeah. But I thought I would have had to make a decision, right? Or at least like, I don't know why this would be a thing, but I thought maybe if you buy it on PC, you get both. But if you buy it on Xbox, you only get the one. I wasn't sure what their
How it
situation
worked.
was. But I went into the Xbox store and I saw it had this little symbol there. It said play anywhere. And I was like, oh, cool. And I had my Microsoft money from like one cousin from Christmas. And I was like, cool, let's do it. Let's get it.
Nice.
So I just have it sitting waiting to go. I'd love to play on PC, but I need to spend time configuring it because if I ever stream it, I don't want it to just destroy my computer and I got to learn about window capture and all that stuff. But I'd probably rather play there just for, I don't know, graphic fidelity and all that
Sure.
good stuff.
Yeah. Felix.
Hey, Locke, you said earlier that.
Hey, Felix.
Hey, Locke. Hey, I feel first time caller, a long term listener, Felix Hergood here. Anyway, you said earlier something about State of
sounds like
Decay
one, too.
coming out in May. Did you read that in an article?
I thought that's what it said.
I didn't read anywhere that it was confirmed to be coming out in May.
Good news. We're all in front of computer.
I would use my computer, but my computer sounds like I'm detonating a bomb, so I'm not going to type.
I got you. guys.
I thought May
22nd.
Yeah, May
22nd.
22nd.
Cool. I didn't even know that.
Which that's going to be an epic time for us, Felix. I'm very
Yeah, because
excited
it is
for that.
crossplay, right?
It is. It is.
I'm so excited.
And I think from all of the research that I've done is you don't need, if you're playing on PC, you don't need an Xbox Live Gold membership. So I won't need to actually like re-up my Xbox Live subscription.
Nice.
As long as you have a Microsoft account, you're able to play anywhere. I just wouldn't be able to go play it on my Xbox. But yeah, I think then I'll get into Sea of Thieves. That's what, like 2-ish months worth of development, some updates and stuff. We can hop into Sea of Thieves and get anything else that's in the Play Anywhere, which at that point I think the only other game that they'll have in there is Gears of War, which I absolutely won't play. But
hey, I have Gears of War 4. We can play that together if you want.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. That's not going to happen. We know it's not.
So do I.
I have no urge to play that game at all.
I have it too.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
cool. I was just curious on if anyone else, because I know.
No,
Sea of Thieves is
I am
newish.
glad you brought it up because it's kind of like a hot topic to talk about. I'm glad we touched on it because I think there's a lot of noise and a
Yes.
lot of the wrong kind of noise, and
Yeah.
we need to put our correct opinions out into the world.
Yeah, I get really, seriously, correct. I just get really frustrated when people like
Yeah, like just aggressively jump to a conclusion and just stay there.
and like off of their own assumptions of what it was going to be. Like,
right, exactly.
show me one article where they're like, this game is going to be the only game you're ever going to play because there's
Right.
going to be so much content.
Yeah,
Like it was never said. So,
no,
like, I think
exactly.
the only argument that could be made is this a $60 game or should it have been a $30 game? And that argument is a valid one. But
If their
literally
content is
speaking my
free-
mind right now, Locke. I just wanted to tell you that you're speaking my mind.
If their updates are free, right, or the ones you pay for are truly massive additions,
sure,
then yeah, the platform is worth the price.
right.
But, I mean, if we
I would
get
agree.
the Dark Below Sea of Thieves, then no.
Yeah, I think what needs to happen is
That
We
sounds
need to
pretty
give-
fun though, you know.
we need to give
It
them
does
a
actually. It
chance.
sounds pretty pirate. Yeah,
We need to give them
Exactly.
a chance.
we do.
and
We
then
really do.
And say, hey, like Rare has never let us down, right? Like, when's the last time Rare let you down, Neo?
Donkey Kong 64. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, then.
It's
Right.
fine. It's
So-
You
fine.
son of a bitch! You take that back.
I've never
Like,
played a
let's
rare
give
game.
them a
Just
chance.
kidding.
What?
I don't think I've ever played a rare game.
Conquer's
Not-
Bad Fur Day.
Not ever.
Banjo Kazooie.
The 64 might have been
GoldenEye.
during. No, it
That
might have
was
been
not a
during
rare
your
game,
drunk.
was it?
He was
Yeah,
drunk.
Was that
GoldenEye was
rare?
rare.
Oh, never mind. I played a rare game.
GoldenEye's rare. Yeah.
But yeah, their main
Rare has a
line.
huge
Their main line was during the dark years.
Yeah, that's when you were blacked out.
and
Thank
a lot
you
of
for bringing those
N64
up
games,
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
usually
mean, I could. You know what? Do you want?
No, I'm
I
not
can
being
let you
sarcastic.
borrow here if you want. I could let you borrow Rare Replay. I have it on disc.
Oh, do
It's
you?
got every
Yeah.
Rare game.
That's a good collection.
Ah.
I mean, I'm never gonna play
That's
it.
some good streaming material right there.
Good
I mean, I'm
streaming
never gonna
material.
play it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I won't. I'll never play it. So
I
if
did
you
want to play that
They've-
Conker's Bad Fur Day game.
You can
They've got the
play it.
remastered one there. Yeah.
Yeah,
You would
You know what,
love
I'll bring it the
Conker's
next
Bad
time.
Fur Day.
The next
Oh,
time I
dude.
come over, I'll let you borrow
Yeah.
it.
Please. All right. I actually love this idea. Play it and stream it. Stream Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I will.
Stream that shit.
I'll play the fuck out
I'd
of
be
it.
there for.
Right, he's gonna put
every
it at
minute.
the top of his stack.
You fight a big literal pile of shit, and he sings at you. He sings opera at you. And you have to like
You have sex with a flower.
That's so good.
with you bounce on her big tits to collect something up in the air.
Dude, that's so
Oh,
great.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's
I
perfect.
literally walked into joined Felix's stream today as his character's having sex with another character, and all he's doing is grunting into the microphone.
I was like this. I was like this.
and then
Please tell me
and
someone
then-
clipped that.
I didn't. I should have. And then goes.
Sorry,
I
you
don't know
clip
if
odds.
I don't know if the boobs are allowed on Twitch. And I typed. I was like, I think the grunting is what's illegal on Twitch.
Yeah.
not the boobs.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
weird grunting you were just doing.
Yeah.
Um,
TOS violation for sure.
he enjoys it. And when you were talking about that, you were mentioning, of course, all of the boobs that you had seen in Witcher 3 while you were streaming that, which kind of leads us into what we got for Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice.
So what do we have on this article here, Neo? We're talking it was a presentation by CD Projekt Red, correct?
Yeah, it was their fiscal year presentation because obviously they haven't put a game out since 2015. I guess you could count what's Gwent, the Gwent game
That doesn't
as
count.
I don't. Wouldn't count that one. No.
Really, dude, you were all about Gwent.
Until I played it.
He's not anymore.
It
It
was,
was about Gwent in the game, not the Gwent game.
it was broke.
Okay, here's the thing. When I played Witcher, I didn't play any Gwent. I just I'm like, I don't have time for this. I want to experience the rest.
I did a little Gwent in Witcher. Not as much as Felix
I
are
didn't feel
good.
like learning a new game. I just didn't feel like learning a new game.
I'm a sucker for card side games, dude. I played the
know.
shit out of like Tetramaster and Final Fantasy 9 or Triple
Triple
Triad. I
Triad,
forget.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
in
so I
Witcher
loved
3.
So I mean, essentially, what he's talking about is that like they don't have much to share again,
Yeah.
but the fact is that they're using, in quotation marks, very advanced technology to create Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, it seems as though so if we can assume a few things here, we can assume that the next generation hardware for Sony and Xbox are already being R&D'd. That's like
a safe
a
assumption,
kind of,
I would say. Yeah.
it's like a bottom line assumption. They're already trying to figure out what the next generation is going to be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Which is actually an interesting question with all of the mid iterations we've been getting.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. That's why I feel like this press release is pretty important because they talk about how the technology they're using is it's very advanced and it's ready for future generation.
Yes.
So assuming that we can expect something very high quality from the game, and I have no reason to doubt CD Projekt Red at all because
Mhm.
goddamn, Witcher 3 was an amazing looking game
Yeah.
feeling game. Oh yeah, easily. And a few other details that they said were they looked into multiplayer for this game, and I feel like they decided against it because they wanted to focus on the environment and story they wanted to, present to the audience.
Right.
Also, this article leads me to believe that we may not see anything this year. Maybe
I don't
not
think we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we will.
No. I mean, if they're like what's the quote on here? The guy says he would like he would terribly like to say something, but he can't. So I feel like like he's excited about the concepts and what he's seeing, but there may not be a lot there yet. And he wants to wait until it's more concrete to be able to be like, here's what you're going to do. Here's the workflow. Like some of the other little nuggets that I saw in here was like, you will be able to create a character. I mean, not revolutionary. You do that in a lot of games, but you'll be able to make what I assume is yourself, right? Or someone.
So it doesn't have a set
customize.
Protagonist like it does in Witcher.
Right. Exactly.
Like
And there will
your
be
avatar.
choosable classes. So different play styles, which is pretty cool. That I wasn't ready for. I would think in the future you would just play some, Blade Runner-esque person, and then you just shot guns or something. So I like
Mine's
that there's
gonna
a
be a
character
woman.
and a class element to this, to whatever it is. Because this aesthetic, I'm so excited for. This is like my fucking right here.
Yeah, like Ghost in a Shell, altered carbon style
carbon,
game. Oh my god,
I was all up in that show's dick. Yeah,
dude, that show was awesome.
The show was okay. It went up and down.
The show was mediocre, but I enjoyed it. Okay, the last 3 episodes of that show was written by a 5-year-old, so I don't want to hear anything about that show.
What?
Yo, this is Team Lock again.
First of all,
dude, those were like the
sister. That's what we watched all of that for.
Yeah, when I saw that, I went
weird relationship with the sister.
Oh yeah, she was
come on
so
now.
weird.
it was very Shakespearean.
Yeah, that's literally shitting on Shakespeare.
Yeah, the whole ending. It was very Shakespearean.
It was.
You're breaking my heart.
Listen, hold on. You're gonna agree with me by the end of my rant.
All right.
The world building was top notch. Loved it.
Yeah.
They've set themselves up for a great future with that show, with the other books that are written in the series. I think the acting for the most part was pretty great. And giving us a cyberpunk-esque sci-fi show for Netflix is also great. But you can't argue that the show started off very strong with this mystery and then kind of fizzled out into like nothingness by the last few episodes.
I mean, it took a hard left turn of what was going on, essentially.
Well, it also like wasn't worth the surprise.
The motivation I think was silly. Yeah.
But the payoff wasn't great.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ride. I think it had pacing issues. Like the one random Halloween episode.
Netflix shows have a lot of pacing issues.
Like, remember that one, the Day of the Dead episode, the Halloween based one? It felt like that show, that story on that episode felt like the middle of like a network episode of 30, a network season of 30 episodes, because they have the time to dedicate to like a Halloween episode. This is a 10 episode Netflix series with a lot of story to get through, and they have like this fun little family Halloween romp, and I'm like, oh, word, this is what you can put right in the middle.
You're talking about when
I didn't hate it.
When
but
the
like
grandmother's brought back.
When the grandmother was spun up.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I still enjoyed it. I binge watched it in like 48 hours. I'm just saying, like it could have.
You got to that point and you're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But to say like what can CD Projekt Red do with this type of setting and this type of world building in this environment is going to be pretty fantastic. Yeah. I think we're going to get a game that brings both consoles that will play on last gen, but will play better on current gen, if that makes sense. It's going to be one of the cross gen games. It's
going to be like Destiny 1, where it came out for PS3 and 4.
Yes, right. And it then runs mediocre on the last gen, but you can play it, but would look better and run better on the current gen. Which the
Switch port of this probably won't run too well,
if there is even one.
But
there is even
maybe
one.
Switch
this is definitely a PC, definitely a PC purchase.
yeah. Although this will I agree. So other than that, we got the next big topic we have is the Ubisoft takeover by media giant. Vivendi.
This has been talked about for a while.
Yeah, we've discussed this on the show episodes back, where when this was in the news last time, where this company Vivendi was buying up shares of Ubisoft to the point where they wanted majority share of it, and it would have
27.3%.
Yeah,
that's not very surprising. Vivendi's been doing that for a while. They used to own Universal.
They also used to own Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
They got a nice payday though for their shares. It looks like they made double what they invested in to try and gain that. So, I mean, nice little.
I guess
Activision.
Ubisoft had to buy them out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they also got investors from outside sources to help with the takeover. But like when Activision Blizzard had to spend $5.83 billion to gain its independence back in 2013 from Vivendi because of all the shares that Vivendi had purchased for the company.
What does Vivendi do besides this? I don't know.
I think they got started in this is weird, but I think it was like water, or it's some like really like not media related thing.
I got their Wikipedia up.
Well,
Yeah, the one company that came into Ubisoft's aid was Tencent, which is a huge mobile developer. They're actually the ones that developed the mobile port of PlayerUnknown, which is something recent that came out. Yep,
that's in our article as well, our news as well.
Yeah. Sorry, did you read the wiki? I was right.
Yeah,
I was
I'm on
totally
Vivendi's wiki.
right. 18. This is crazy. On 14th of December, 1853, a water company was created by the imperial decree of Napoleon III. It's somebody like edit the wiki for this. Is this real? This company started in 1853. They're a monster.
Selling water? Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, you have to understand. A lot of companies in America start out as something and then change into something else as they get older.
But it's crazy that this company's been around since 1853. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The what's the India trading company? Have you guys ever heard of
India Trading
That's
Company?
it. They're hundreds of years old, but they still exist today in some form. Nintendo was in fact a I guess 100 years ago, and Nintendo was just a toy developer.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
they
yeah,
just
I
made-
remember. Yeah.
They
Hanafuda
made
cards.
cards. Yeah. And then now they're in electronics.
Yeah, in 1980, the company started diversifying its operations from water into waste management, energy, transport services, and construction and property.
Hey, and let's buy Ubisoft.
And then they
And
started
eventually they
annexing
got into media.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got into media. That's where that I guess that all changed.
Crazy.
Oh wow, they own Canal Plus
Yep.
for film,
And they still own Universal Music Group. They still own that.
They do. They got Daily Motion. They have Gameloft, which is a mobile
Wow.
developer.
What a
Yeah.
weird company.
What's also interesting is the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan acquired a bunch of shares, about 2 million less than 10 cent, but essentially that's the the city of Ontario saying that they believe in Ubisoft shares to make this a part of the teachers pensions plan.
That's really cool.
But they acquired almost 4 million shares, where Tencent acquired 5.5 million shares, which acquired all of Vivendi's in total, which they still made a ton of money on it, which is wild. It's wild to me that this happens. But
another part of this deal actually includes that Vivendi can't actually make a bid on Ubisoft again for another 5 years as well, which is quite interesting. So they can't even make another move on them anymore.
Right.
So this is pretty cool. So Ubisoft essentially just secured themselves from being taken over.
Yeah.
And I mean, hell, in the past 2 years, I can tell you they've worked really hard to gain back the trust of their, consumers, I guess you could call it.
I've been investing in Ubisoft for a couple of years now. My shares originally started at I think they started at like $7 a share. I think it was $4.76 a share, and now they're like almost 18. So it's crazy. It's grown a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll scoop some of those up. I've been buying Activision and Blizzard,
but it's
slowly, but they've more than doubled. Like I bought them at 30 something, and they're at 70 something. So I feel like I don't have that much more to invest in that. Maybe I'll go Ubisoft.
The only thing that's complicated with Ubisoft is
stock talk.
Is you're not actually investing in them directly because they're in the the French exchange market.
Oh,
which you're not. You're investing in. I can't remember what it's called. It's called American. I think it's called an American Certificate of Deposit, ACD. No, it's called something else. But what it is it's a company that invests for you. Essentially, they're investing in it, and their share price is based on whatever Ubisoft is doing, but it's not always exactly accurate because it's based on like exchange rates and stuff like that. But it's still, it's legitimate shares, but it's not exactly based on the original company's price.
Right. We're not trading on the Dow or anything.
Right. No, it totally is. No, you are trading on the Dow. I don't know if you're trading on the Dow.
Not Ubisoft directly. You're not trading.
Yes, you're not trading
American
on
markets.
that company directly.
Right.
You would have to. You'd have to deal with foreign being involved in a foreign market, which there's a whole headache that comes along with that. Anyway, stock tips with Emergent Gamer.
Felix out there in podcast land. Felix knows a lot about stocks, so hit him up.
I actually think the last article, guys, spitball with me here for a second. The toxic management. I think would actually be really good for us to read through, and I kind of want to pick my brother-in-law's brain next week about it, because this is part of the reason why, at least my assumption from overhearing conversation, of why he started his own development, his own gaming studio.
We can put a pin in this one, only because this is not just news. This is like an expose almost.
Yeah. Talking more about the gaming industry at large and talking about Telltale specifically, but I think it would be good to kind of get his insight as someone in the industry, how he aligns with maybe some of this.
Yeah, anyone listening,
go to great perspective.
Go to the theverge.com. There's an excellent article written by Megan Farkomanish. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And the title is the title is Toxic Management Costs an Award-Winning Game Studio Its Best Developers. It's a lengthy article, but it's a great read because it goes in depth into the behind the scenes of the Telltale game developers who made Walking Dead and Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, the Game of Thrones, Telltale. They do so many games. It's a great look into the game. So we can talk about this next week. We can
it'd be good.
Revisit this. Yeah. For sure.
Cool. I mean, the only other news points we had was just talking more about PUBG on mobile, which has come out. I mean, not much really to discuss there. I mean, it's already super popular. I've played one game of it at work, which surprisingly, the touch screen on my phone wasn't too bad. It definitely plays better on an iPad than on an iPhone, but
you got more space
free to play.
Maneuver. Yeah,
free to play. There is rumors that the majority of the 100 players that drop in are not actually players; they're bots. But no one, I don't think, has officially announced that yet. But
there are definitely bots.
But if you go on Twitter, like, so many people have won chicken dinners their first time, or who have never won a chicken dinner before have won it their first time. So, yeah,
my first game, I got a chicken dinner.
So did I. I got a 14 kill chicken dinner on the first game.
Yeah, it was not 9 kills, man. I know I'm catching up. But, funny enough, I also I should have brought this up earlier, but I also played Fortnite, Survive or whatever it's called, the Unknown Battlegrounds version of it. The mobile version of that also came out in the same week.
Right.
Totally on purpose. Just I have to assume it's totally on purpose. They wanted to release their
I
games.
would imagine so. Yeah.
So the funny thing about the Fortnite game is that game is entirely cross-play between every platform but Sony's. My brother actually got me an invite into the Fortnite game because I guess it was private. And I played with him first on my phone and him on his phone. And then I played on PC and we partied up. It was pretty actually crazy that we could do that.
Yeah, I'm actually downloading it right now. Crazy Peanut, the active contributor to the Emergent Gamer podcast, gave me a code for Fortnite Mobile.
You hooked me up as well, yeah.
So I was downloading that just to
Is it
to
fun?
test it out.
Do you guys like it?
I mean, I don't
on mobile.
I mean, the mobile thing is cool to like do it at work when I can't play the real game. Like I would never choose to play
you may actually enjoy it, I think.
I don't think.
How do you do all the building?
Really?
With
the building, I don't know.
iPhone.
I don't know how to do that. I mean,
it's there's a toggle between, so like you have like an item bar of all the items you pick up. Think like Minecraft.
Well, that's you do on the console too. You just flip between what you're navigating essentially with a shoulder button.
Right. So on the screen, they're just it's a bar, but they're touchable buttons. So you'll touch between your guns, and then there's a toggle button which will switch the bar into objects you can build. So it just flips the bar from your weapons to your
they switch their spots.
Yeah. So and then now you're either in building mode or you're in assault mode. So you can't do both. You have to pick which one you do.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is it. We've hit everything.
Is that our show? Did we do it?
We did a show.
We did.
I think we did it.
So next week
we never know. Are we
done?
150 episodes of always like, are we guys? Did we fucking do
we do it?
But next week will be a special episode. We will have a guest. We will have a guest with us in the in the pseudo studio, aka my house. But it will be his name is Nick Madonna. He is a local Philly game developer. The name of the game studio is PHL Collective. You can check out some of their work. PHL Collective. I'm assuming phlcollective.com. But they'll be talking to us about a game that's coming out on Nintendo Switch, and then also just a little bit more about what he does and what it's like to be a game developer. He's worked for major studios in the past. He worked on the Master Chief Collection. He's worked for Final Fantasy, I believe, 10 or 12. I forget which Final Fantasy he helped work on.
Did he work for Viewpoint?
We'll find all of that out and more next week.
Tune in.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Tune in for next week's episode 159.
Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mom.
Tell them all. Later.
See ya.
Are we? Oh God, we're done.
What episode are we again? 158?
158.
I'll bring it in.
Yeah.
This is never gonna work.
Okay, how about 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3. Clap.
1,
All
2,
right.
3. Whatever.
It's the internet, dude.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Close enough. Close enough.
I mean, I don't like. Do you want me to like? Are we gonna clap and then pause and then I'm gonna go in?
Distract
Or like, what's
anybody?
happening?
Is that going to distract anybody?
No, we're
The
fine.
blinking
It
light.
doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
We're good.
do you-
It's close
I've been
enough. It's close enough.
Okay.